So right now I'm getting ready to soil drench my fruit and my citrus trees. I usually foliar spray my trees, and I do that just in the beginning of the season. However, my trees, especially my citrus, have bloomed so fast. I do have a video that's coming up. I'm going to share that with you folks. But in the meantime, whenever you have open blooms, open blossoms, you don't want to spray your trees. You don't want to interrupt the transitional process. That means from budding to blooms. And a lot of people don't understand the difference between budding and blooms. If you have a bloom that is white, pink, purple, whatever color, and is solid, and it has not opened up, that's called budding. In fact, prior to it budding, when it comes to fruit trees, budding is when you'll see the swollen gland of the actual bud. It hasn't even formed into a flower yet. Okay, so I got a lot of buds and I got a lot of blooms. So rather than interrupt that cycle, I'm going to soil drench my trees. This is an important time when your trees are coming out of dormancy and whatnot. Since I'm going to be feeding both my fruit and my citrus trees, the mixtures I'm going to share with you does not differ. However, I am going to use a certain mixture with something specific, and I'll share that with you in a sec. First thing I want to do is I want to go to my agriculture molasses. I'm going to go ahead and get this started because I have a bucket of hot water here. Doesn't matter how much hot water. My goal here is to make sure I get the molasses melted down enough, and then I'll pour through my strainer. Where's my strainer? All right. And then I'll strain the liquid right into here without getting all the molasses sediment, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and just take 4 cups, because this is a 4-cup glass jar right here. I'm gonna pour that right in here, just like so. I'm gonna move that over to the side. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna stir this. Perfect. I'm gonna stir that in here. And before I move on to anything else, I'm gonna stir this while I'm talking to you folks for about a couple of minutes, okay? So the goal here is that I do have a product out here called chelated or chelated iron. Now remember, in the past, this is what you wanna use if you see that there's any yellowing, discoloration. That is a sign of malnutrition, okay? But before you use this product, don't be so quick to jump to it. Here's why. Number one, you need to make sure that when it comes to this product here, it's your last defense. Just because you have yellowing leaves don't mean you need to go and treat it and feed it some zinc, copper, and manganese, okay? This is pure nitrogen. So it's also going to stimulate leaf production, okay? Remember, when it comes to your trees, okay, they take their nutrients up through the leaves, which we call foliar feed, faster than they do through just simply feeding them through the roots. Now, this stuff is great here, and I absolutely love it. And it has helped me in many areas, and I've learned a lot from it over the many years. However, the first thing you do when your trees are starting to suffer and show that discoloration, you want to feed it with the fertilizer first. A well-balanced fertilizer is always going to usually remedy the situation, okay? And give it 30 days. If nothing's improved, then you go ahead and spray. Yes, you have to wait 30 days because it takes about 30 days, 30 to 45 days in order for that fertilizer to break down in the soil to be available for your plants. So you want to make sure you do the appropriate thing, okay? If you want to get something to your plants immediately, I would suggest you go ahead and foliar feed them. Fertilizers again, liquid feed, because this is going to act faster than your dry ingredients will. This is only used in an emergency. Don't be so quick to use. So I'm going to be using this product today, and I'm going to use it on 2 specific trees, okay? But this is going to go last in my application, okay, in a bucket of its own. So I'm going to set this also to the side. We're going to continue to stir this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to need my Isha's assistance, and she's going to hold this strainer while I pour this liquid in here to make sure I don't get any sediments. So I'll be right back. So just remember, this is a 44-gallon garbage can. Okay? It doesn't matter how much liquid was in this 5-gallon bucket. The bucket was only used for the sole purpose of holding onto scorching hot water so that I can add 4 cups of dry agricultural molasses to the bucket. And then I strained it and separated the liquids from the sediment that is right here. Now, you may be asking, well, how much molasses you use? Well, this is a 44-gallon container, and all the ingredients that I'm going to be adding today, I'm going to fill this garbage can up to just about full, because I have a lot of trees out here to feed, and each tree is going to get a gallon of solution. Okay, 44 gallons, I have roughly 43 to 44 trees. You understand? Okay, so now, but how much agricultural molasses? It's quite simple. Pay attention. Okay, remember, we can't just throw a lot of molasses as much as we want. We got to have a balance. Whenever you're reading about fertilizers, they're normally in a 2-ounce increment or a tablespoon increment. So we're going to go based on the tablespoon. 1 tablespoon per gallon. So 1 tablespoon per gallon, 1 times 44 size garbage can is going to give you 44 tablespoons. Okay? But how does that equate to cups? Since it's easier for many of us to take these measurements and go, I can look at the cup and I get it. Okay? So what does 44 tablespoons of solution equals in cups? So what is that, hon?
It would be 2 3/4 of a cup.
So we're looking at 2 cups plus 3/4. So that would equal 2 cups. This is a 4-gallon little measuring cup here. So I'm going to go 2 3/4, which is what? 2.75. So now we're looking right at 3. So let's level it off and let's just say 3 cups, okay? So 3 cups, all right? So I gave it 4 cups because I'm gonna spread something over to my plants, my edible plants. Now, we're gonna get rid of this for now. The next thing we wanna add to this bucket, we wanna go in here and add fish fertilizer. You all know that fish fertilizer is 1 tablespoon per gallon. Once again, we're looking at, the 44, tablespoons. We're looking at the 3 cups. So we're gonna shake this up a little bit. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fill this up. Three cups exactly. Now I'm gonna pour this directly in here. Now remember, you have all this sediment. It's best you go ahead and rinse this out so that you can clear this entire jar. Now, please make no mistake about it. All of this sediment, do not throw it away. There's many things or multiple uses for it. What you can do is take this again through hot water and break it down even further and utilize these liquids as a foliar spray for your edible plants, such as your green leafy plants and whatever else. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm actually going to take this sediment, and I'm gonna compost it because you don't wanna waste it. So I'm gonna simply put it into my garbage can composter and we'll be set. I'm gonna put this aside for right now. We have another product here, and this is my seaweed extract. Now, this product is not full of just pure nitrogen. This product is wonderful. You can use it on your vegetables, your fruit trees and everything. Everyone knows about this product. So you got some soluble potash, you got, which is that really good Norwegian kelp and so forth. A lot of people who are into hydroponics and things like that, they use this product too. They also use it for root cuttings. It's just an all around great product itself, okay? And it offers a lot more benefit than most people think. I think it's underrated. And I prefer to use it over a lot of other products and stay as natural as possible. But here we are here. Now, remember, what I'm doing right now is I'm making a solution to feed my trees. You don't have to have this. If you live in places like Canada or you live on coastal regions, you can actually get you seaweed, and you can get you a bubbler, put it in here and marinate that seaweed, and you can marinate some worm castings inside of a cheesecloth bag, and you can do all that. Well, that's what I will be doing too, and that's what this garbage can's main purpose is for. Okay, I'm gonna be doing that, but right now I'm waiting for my worms to build up so that I can utilize worm castings, as well as my compost bins and so forth. Now, this one calls for 2 ounces per gallon. So 2 ounces per gallon times 44. So we're looking at a double the amount, 44 times 2. You're gonna give us 88, okay? 88. So what does that equate to in cups, hon?
That would be 11 cups.
11 even? 11 cups even. So let me explain something to you folks right now. So if you're going to feed your trees this way, which is how I feed my trees, I no longer, listen, I used to feed my trees with a fertilizer in the soil every month. I stopped doing that. The only time I feed my trees fertilizer in the soil, I do it at the beginning, a month out before spring, normally around February 14th, so that fertilizer can break down over 30 to 45 days and be available March when spring starts, okay? But after that point, all I do is liquid feed my trees. And I have trees both in the ground and trees in containers, and they all look absolutely wonderful. So let's go ahead and get, did you say 12 cups? 11 cups. I think that's gonna be all of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dilute it. And this is what happens, folks. This stuff is not cheap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dilute, and we're gonna get up to, you know what? We'll just go, let me just go ahead and take it all. How about that? Oh, that's gonna stink. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up. So the product is already mixed. The water is high. I'm going to show you what the look of the product is just by dipping this. I want you to look really, really close. Look at the color. Molasses, seaweed extract, fish fertilizer, all right here. Here's a gallon. I'm going to use this gallon to feed all of my trees. But there's one thing I need to do before I feed my trees. I need to go ahead and turn on their sprinkler heads and wet the soil before I do. You see, when you wet the soil before you feed your trees, you allow the absorption rate to increase. Very important. Never pour fertilizer on dry soil, especially when it's in liquid form. A lot of people ask me, well, I don't have a lot of money to buy seaweed or fish fertilizer. Once again, you don't have to use seaweed. It's something that I like to use. I'm going to put this down for just a second, explain something to you folks. When it comes to this product right here, the fish fertilizer, you don't have to purchase it. There is an alternative way. You can simply go out and fish or go somewhere and get your certain fish, and you can break those fish down. You can grind them up. You can do whatever. You can even take the fish and put a bubbler in here and let the fish marinate in its juices and take the juices and discard the carcasses somewhere else. That's a natural way, and it's a good way to do things. If you're a fisherman, if you have access to a fishing pole, if you have access to making sure you renew your licensing every year, can range from anywhere from 30 to about $100. Here's the problem. I always advise against using raw fish, especially for beginners, because when the rodents come and start digging up, squirrels, raccoons, and all kinds of other things, digging up the area you put that fish, you're not gonna know how to deal with that issue. If you're new to gardening, you're gonna be new to knowing how to deal with them. So I say avoid it. Fish fertilizer, it'll last you a long time. So you're looking at anywhere between 15 and 30 bucks to pay for a full gallon of fish fertilizer. And it'll last you for quite some times, okay? Now, when it comes to the seaweed extract, it's not that expensive also, but because I feed a lot of my trees this way, it's gonna take this entire 44 gallon to feed them all. So I'm gonna be taking this 1 gallon here. I'm gonna get it in here ever so slightly so I don't drip any of that liquid out the sides over there. Then I'm gonna pull this up, put my top back on, and I'm gonna feed my trees. But before I do that, what did I say? Once again, we're gonna go ahead and turn on some sprinkler heads. And because my water is coming from one direct source, the city source into my area, I'm gonna turn on the dripper heads into certain areas because I have several different zones out here. Until then, let's go ahead and get to feeding. Come along with me. So I'm gonna give you folks an example, then I gotta get to work. I'm gonna pre-water the area or pre-wet the area. And you don't want to artificially water it. You want to, not saturate it, but give it enough where the absorption starts. So I'm going to cut that off, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the solution here, and I'm simply going to pour it on one side, on the opposing side. Folks, that's all it takes.